So let's say you're looking at your design, whether it's something that you're designing in Animate CC or Illustrator or Photoshop or any other design program, and you're looking at your font and you're kind of unhappy with the options that you have on your computer system. Well, your computer system comes with a lot of fonts, but sometimes the fonts just don't have the personality or style that you're looking for. If that's the case, you can always download free fonts or pay for fonts online from professional or beginning font designers. So if I'm looking at this design in Animate CC, I'm liking what's happening so far, but I think that my title or heading could be a lot better. I think it could be stronger, have better personality, and really fit what I'm going for. So in this instance, what I want to do is I want to find a font, whether on a site like defont.com or there's fontspace.com or there's different type foundries. So if I wanted to do custom font as a Google search, I can do custom font and there's defont, and then you can look at, let's see, 1001freefonts.com, fonts.com, and you can look at special font foundries. So if you go to Font Foundry, those are like places where you can buy custom designed fonts from professional designers. So like if we go to losttype.com, it's a bunch of fonts that are available for you to purchase from professional designers. So either way, I'm going to go to defont.com because I like this one the best. It just helps me to search to have all these different kind of categories. And you can see some recently added fonts. You can also look through their top fonts, or you can go by these different categories. So I want to just look through their top fonts for right now, and I want to type in the text that I am going to use so I can see an example of it in the different fonts that have been downloaded. So the one thing you want to pay attention to is, yes, you do want to look at a font that has the style you're going for, or even a style that you weren't thinking of, and now you're surprised because it looks really cool. So anyway, you want to look at not just the style, but you also want to look at the copyright information over here. Sometimes they have something like 100% free. That means you can use it for anything, on anything, whether it's commercial or it's something you're doing for a charity or it's a personal project, whatever it may be, you can use that font. There are other options where it says free for personal use, and that means that you can only do it on fonts that are maybe like projects you're going to put in your portfolio or a personal project that you're doing, like your nephew's a poker tournament to raise money for your nephew's baseball team. You can do any of those. You can look at the different copyright options by clicking on them or clicking on the different fonts. There's also ones donation where they expect you to donate a certain amount. This is only for demos, so you can't use it for anything other than to demo to see if it's a font that you want to use. So there's a lot of different types of copyright things that you want to look at. So I think the one I picked was Lost in the Wild. So you can either download it now, or you can click on the font to go to the font page. And the other thing that you want to pay attention to, not just the copyright, even though this explains more in detail what you would do with the copyright for this one. You want to come down here and see if they've designed for all the characters. Sometimes they only design capital letters and you didn't know that, and so then you download this font and it's not going to work. Or sometimes they'll do all of the capital letters in the lowercase, but they forget the numbers, or they won't let you have the numbers because it's not 100% free to use. Or there are things like if you know you're going to do accent marks or you need to have different punctuation, you need to look here because like this one, this little paragraph character or whatever this character is, you can see his logo is here instead. That means he didn't design those two different characters. So anyway, this one looks like a pretty good one. You download it, and what downloads is a zip file, and you double click that zip file to extract it. If you're on a PC, you have to right click and choose something like extract all from your right click menu. Mac people, you just double click and it'll extract it. So if we go inside of there, you'll see that there are alternates tutorials, so you can learn how to use some of the alternates in the font. So some of these lower alternates down here. You can look at the JPEG that demonstrates the font, which would be this. And then you have the open type font and the true type font. You can choose either one. So you can also go to the README, which probably has the copyright stuff and any information about the font that you might want to know. So anyway, let's just go ahead and install this true type font. If we double click, On a Mac, it'll bring it up and it looks kind of crazy right here, but we'll just click install font and it should bring up your font dialog, and these are fixed with fonts, and these are the ones that I have downloaded onto my computer, so I've downloaded quite a bit. PC people, I believe it's similar, but you'll see different screens for this. But now this font should be installed on my system. So let's go back into the project, and I need to copy this text. I want to copy it and put it on its own layer just in case I don't like it and I want to go back to this kind of really easy to read but plain font. So I'll go ahead and Command C or Control C to copy it. And I'll lock all the other layers and go to frame 1 of the home title alternative. And I'll actually turn off the original home title. That way I can see what this one is going to look like. So I can go to Edit, Paste in Place. And now what I can do is go to Properties, and with the Type tool selected, so I'll click the Font Family drop-down menu. And again, this would work the same in any program, Photoshop, Illustrator, even Microsoft Word. So I'll go up to the main fonts at the top and look in L's. We're looking for Lost in the Wild. So I'll click it, and obviously I need to do some tweaking with this. So I'm going to change, it's not letting me, there we go. So I'm going to change this to not be so huge, and change this one to not be so huge. And I'm just going to kind of work this text around. Notice that I put my text in different text boxes, so it's easy to move them around like puzzle pieces. And for some reason, okay, there we go. So now by virtue of having, I actually like this tucked right there. Okay, so now what I can do is I can turn that visibility off, turn this one on, and look at the before and after since I kept both of them. And I think I like my custom font, so I think that's the one I'll keep. Anyway, that's the basic process of finding, downloading, installing, and using a custom font from online.